You have the clicker?
You got the clicker?
Oh, there.
Oh, you got that. Thanks.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good morning. How many of you here have ever done a 5K walk or a race? Anybody? Wow, quite a few. And Divya, may I ask, what was your timing?
Terrible.
20 minutes? That's awesome. And Cole?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, good. On an average, it takes about 15 minutes to all the way up to 60 minutes based on age and pace. And I have done many, many 5Ks in the last 20 years since I've been running. But today, I'm here to talk about my latest one, the longest and the hardest of them all. More not moving? There we go. There we go. It was August 9th. I was sleeping in my tent and heard a familiar voice trying to wake me up. It was Donis, our waiter. He asked me, Shankar, can I come in and hand over you the hot cup of tea? I asked him to come in, and he walked in and gave me this cup of hot tea at 10 p.m. Donis, such an amazing person, for $10 a day. Every morning, he gets up at 4, makes the tea and coffee ready, comes to our tent, wakes up all of our hikers with a big, contagious smile, hands us over, and sets us ready for the long day ahead of us. So before he left, he said, Shankar, be in the dining room for breakfast at 10:30 p.m. Breakfast at 10:30 p.m. And if you're wondering, breakfast at 10:30, you're not alone. Because most of the summit to the peak happens around midnight. You start climbing around 11, 12 at night, and then you try to summit in the morning to see the beautiful, spectacular sunrise. Not just that, as the sun comes up, the weather at high altitude becomes very unpredictable. So the idea is, as the sun descends, you start to, as the sun ascends, you start to descend. So we all got together at the dining table at 10:30 p.m. and tried to eat whatever we could. And Donis kept reminding us that we have a long day ahead of us, about 16 to 18-hour day. That was our plan. We start summiting at 11:30 p.m. The plan to reach the summit between 7 and 8 a.m., and then you descend to the overnight camp by 5 p.m. that afternoon. A long, long day. But we were already tired. 5 days of hiking, 15,000 feet elevation. We had all had some kind of health issue. So we tried to eat whatever we could. As we are finishing up, all of our guides walk into the tent. It's like a ritual. After every meal, our guides will be there, taking all of our vitals and doing a health check. Does anyone here know, like, what kind of illness do we get as we climb altitude? Yes, altitude sickness. Any other terms? Haze and HAPE. Fluids in the lung and fluids in the brain. These are so common that 1 in 3 hikers get it. And some get it so serious, they will have to be brought down right away for recovery. And some even die. Our guides were so strict, they kept a close eye on all our vitals and kept log of everything. So before we finished that day, our health check, our chief guide, Rashid, walks up to me, Shankar, your oxygen is still low. My oxygen that night was 81. On average, a healthy person should have between 95 and 100. And I'll explain as to why. We were in camp, Barafu camp, at 15,300 feet that day. And as part of our acclimatization, every day we do an acclimatization hike. And that day, our hike was from Barafu camp to Kasava camp. Just 0.6-mile hike. How much? Just 0.6. But we were going from 15,300 feet to 16,000 feet. And we were all anxious because we have never been at such a high altitude. So our guides pulled us in and said, we are going to do the acclimatization hike, and the backpack here is an option. This backpack weighs, with all of it in it, about 35 to 40 pounds. And all of my teammates decided not to carry the backpack to the acclimatization hike. But me, since this is the exact route we are going to take in a few hours, I wanted to see how my body reacts to such high altitude with 35-pound backpack on. So as soon as we finished the hike and came down, I had a pounding headache. It was so bad, they had to do another vitals on me. And we found out my blood oxygen was just 72. Rashid said, go get some recovery. We will see what we can do. So as we all gathered to start our summit that night, after a quick gear check, and before we start, I raised my hand and said, Rashid, I'm going to need a porter today. I'm not going to carry my backpack. And without saying a single word, he immediately called for someone, and Andrea came up, and I just gave this backpack to her. The reason I'm mentioning this, as soon as I did it, all of my teammates raised their hands and asked for help. So unfortunately, men have problems asking for help. But I have been taught not to have ego and always ask for help, and so I did. With that, we marched on. 5 porters, 5 guides, and 5 hikers, 15 of us, started our climb at 11:30 that night. It was unlike I've ever done before. Single stream of hikers with their headlights on, with a beautiful full moon up. We were walking so slow. This is our pace. Pole, pole in Swahili, means slowly, slowly. It felt like a stream of zombies walking up towards something. And you can get a feel of that continued for 5 long hours. How long? 5 long hours. And around 18,000 feet in the early hours of the 10th morning, I started to have trouble. My heart was pounding, tap-a-tap, tap-a-tap, tap-a-tap. And it was beating so fast, I felt like it was going to explode and I'm going to die right there. So I started asking for breaks every few steps. And Rashid knew something is not well with me. He pulled me over, sat me on a rock, and threw on a ventilator at me. And at that moment, I sat there and realized what the hell I am doing and why am I here? Why am I here? Because as I entered my 50s, I wanted to have a very ambitious goal. I had an ambitious goal in the 40s to become an Ironman, and I did. And I wanted to beat that in my 50s. So I decided I will hike Mount Everest before I turn 60. And this is my roadmap to hike Mount Everest. It's not going to be easy. Most hikers will need oxygen only at 23,000 feet. Here I am at 18,000 feet, and I had to be on a ventilator. It's okay. We'll figure it out, right? So I was on Has anybody here been on a ventilator before with oxygen? Anybody? You? Okay, good. How does it feel afterwards?
It wasn't by choice.
Okay, good. For me, after that 15 minutes, it's as if like you got so much caffeine in you. The head clears up, and I got most of my energy back. And then we marched on. As we marched on, the beautiful sun came up. I mean, at high altitude, the sunrise and sunset are so spectacular, the pictures doesn't do any justice. We saw a beautiful sunrise. As we marched on, we saw plenty of ice, snow, and then what is left of the glaciers. And there's not much left. That's another reason I wanted to go there. We kept on hiking, and at 7:31 that morning, after 25 miles of hiking, 6 days of hard work, we reached 19,341 feet to Uhuru Point. That is our summit. If you look back, the entire hike the previous night was just 5 kilometers, and it took us 8 hours and 17 minutes. How long? 8 hours and 17 minutes. And here I am at the summit with my son. A proud moment. This journey embodies my vision for my life. To live fully, embrace adventure, push limits, be curious, and be wiser every day. So, my fellow Toastmasters, here is my ask. Dream big and have a vision that excites you. A life without a vision is like a ship without a compass. You may drift, but you never truly arrive. And when you pursue your vision with focus and persistence, like magic, things fall in place. And when you are in harmony with nature, the universe has a magical way of giving you what you ask for. Dream big, set your summits, and then keep climbing. Thank you. Sorry. The picture never came up. Huh? So can you show the last picture? Okay, that's the last picture. Okay, thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you. How long was that?
Well, write the comments.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.